back you with another one, man. I don't know why they copyrighted my video or whatever. Probably because I was playing music. I don't know. Maybe it's this software I'm using, OBS. I don't know. Maybe because I'm cursing too much. I'm gonna try not to curse and just to see that, but let's go.
For real.
Yeah.
I need a motherfucker to design me a wild ass Mama Duck shirt.
Everybody be going to different people. I went to somebody different. Butter went to somebody different. Dutchy went to somebody different. Who Mama Duck going to? Because Big Cloud went to somebody different. Do your homework on who Big Cloud went to.
He went to Icebox and got this.
You know, I say do your homework.
Icebox.
Do your homework, bro. Do your homework.
So,
do your homework.
Do I don't want to go that far, but
that's why I say it's different levels of the whoops.
A nice Mama Duck chain. I already got an idea of how I want it. So somebody design me a wild ass Mama Duck chain.
Matter of fact, I know somebody who been trying to do some whoops. Though.
D-Butter, hey D-Butter. D-Butter hit different when my kids grand.
Oh, there it is. The pus release is bubbling out. That was her. That was a burp. All right, slow down, girl. You should take it easy for 2 to 3 days, okay? Oh, there it is. The pus release. And then can't get to the fuck back. That the ring
With my gun. Right. We're gonna find a video, man, hopefully. We're gonna find a video, hopefully we're gonna get in this. Right. We're gonna find a video, man, hopefully. We're gonna find a video, hopefully we're gonna get in this.
Yeah, 100%. There are, dude. I mean, there's you find pottery in places, but it's always near the rivers. Like there's evidence of ancient civilizations. You want to hear the craziest thing? One of my guys found a stone axe head. Now here's the thing: the uncontacted don't have rocks. You won't find a rock on our river. There's clay. There are no rocks. They found a stone axe head in the jungle, at a site from the uncontacted. But what that means is that the uncontacted tribe had a stone axe head that they've been holding on to since like Inca times. Wow. And someone forgot it at the camp. And so you're talking about civilization carrying around something from a previous civilization that they don't know where they got it from. It's like incredible.
Wow.
Because you cannot find there are no rocks like that on our river. There was like a smooth gray stone shaped into like a blunt axe head with, made, so you could attach it to a stick. And they found this on the beach and they'd been using it to like clean turtles. But we don't have those rocks. That's more like an Inca type of thing. So this has been floating around through various people's hands in the jungle for decades, centuries, who knows? And what do they think about where that came from? It's lost technology that they don't understand anymore.
So the thing about the Lost City of Z was that there was a previous expedition that had encountered these cities and these incredible, beautiful, complex cities. And they described how elaborate their clothing was and their culture, their agriculture. And so then when the next expedition went back, there was no one there because they had killed everybody with diseases. This is that's the theory, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Oriana was the first person to like go descend the Amazon, which the thing that always drove me crazy about that was that they came down the Andes, made their way down the entire Amazon, and then like looked at the stars, figured out where Spain was, built a whole other ship, and sailed home. Like, think about that for a second.
They built a whole other...
was built the Amazon, which the thing that always drove me crazy about that was that they came down the Andes, made their way down the entire Amazon, and then like looked at the stars, figured out where Spain was, built a whole other ship, and sailed home. Like, think about that for a second.
They built a whole other
You
ship.
built a whole pirate ship and sailed to Spain based off the stars.
Wow.
And like now, like you look at us now and it's like, are we smarter than that now? Like how many people can find your way anywhere without like
But what is
your
smart,
phone?
really? What smart is your ability to use information correctly. Now, what information do you have? Like they had information that we don't have because they needed to be able to navigate using the stars, and they didn't have to deal with the kind of night pollution that we have. The light pollution that we have at night it's one of the greatest tragedies about modern civilization is that we've blacked out one of the most spectacular things that you could ever see. The thing that really centers us and humbles us, which is the view of the stars.
Yeah.
I went to the Keck Observatory a few years back. I went last year, but it was really good last year, but not this one time. The Keck Observatory is in Hawaii on the Big Island, and you go way, way, way up through the clouds. And the view of the cosmos is like you are in a spaceship with a clear glass windshield, and you see everything. There's no light pollution on the island because they have diffused lighting for all their street lights, specifically designed so that it doesn't fuck with the telescopes. Wow. And so when you're up there, I'll never forget it. The one time that I went, which was at least 15 years ago, maybe 16 years ago. That one time was so spectacular that it changed my view of like Earth in the relationship to the cosmos, just by seeing it. Because you see the Milky Way, you see everything, you see all the stars. It just took my breath away. I couldn't stop staring at it. I was like, this is insane. And then I was thinking, God, this is everywhere. This is what the ancients used to see before we figured out electricity and blunted it all.
Yeah.
And ruined our relationship with the cosmos visually. Because that's what every city does. When you look up at the night sky, you don't see jack shit in New York City. You see a star. Oh, there's the moon. That's it. What is up there is literally the most spectacular thing that humans could ever witness. And it's there every night if you don't have light pollution and cloud cover.
So like you're saying, like it would be like almost like more stars than black.
You
Just
see
like
everything,
completely,
man. You see,
yeah.
it's incredible. So they're very careful at the observatory. There's no lights that get in the way of anything. So when you get outside of the building and there's just people lined up on the roads and on the hills that are just staring up at the sky.
Because it's perfect.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's so many stars. It's everything. That's what it looks like. That's literally exactly what it looks like. That is
With
the
your
Keck
naked eye.
Observatory. With your naked eye, man.
Jeez.
It's amazing. But it's this understanding that that's up there all the time and you can't see it because of light pollution.
But see, that to me is so much of what we're doing with nature right now, where it's like we're dulling it down.
Yeah.
We live in this incredible reality, and it's like we're dulling it down. Like in the Eastern Cape, where I've been working with the guys from VetPaw, like the elephants have smaller tusks or no tusks because of poaching. And it's like you're taking this incredible, monstrous, giant.
So is that a natural selection thing? Like the ones that have smaller tusks are allowed to survive?
It's because they're targeted. Yeah,
Right.
they're targeted for the big tusks.
So the big tusk ones are getting killed,
Yeah.
and so somehow in response to that, they're developing smaller tusks so that they're less attractive.
to the point that they're even having no tusks. It's like it genetically bottlenecked them so quickly because over the last 100 years, the humans were all going for the big tuskers, and now these monster tuskers, like the really big ones where they touch the ground, there's only a few of them left.
That is so wild.
And so and then moose, like in Maine, they have smaller antlers, and like we're actually like we're dulling down the magnificence of the universe. Like when you look at those pictures, you're like, why don't I see that? Picture if we saw that every night.
Right.
How different we'd be. How much more connected we'd
Oh
be.
yeah, it's so humbling. I feel like there's a thing about mountain communities, ocean communities, where you're confronted with nature that's on such a scale of beauty and magnificence that you're overwhelmed by it, and you're automatically humbled just by your environment and your surroundings. There's the same thing about oceans. Like you look out to the ocean, it's so humbling because it's so immense and there's so much power and energy and life. It's just like, wow, it just puts you in your place. And the sky is supposed to do that too.
Yeah.
There's a relationship that we have to the cosmos when you look up that is like, okay, yeah, this is the real mystery of life and of existence, that we fly through infinity on an organic spaceship every day. And that's what's really going on. It's not stationary. It's literally spiraling through the universe.
And that exact sort of wonder is what I feel when I wake up in the jungle and you dip your hands in and you drink the river. And then in the
My mind is so where they at. That's why I'm not even saying anything, because I'm just visualizing their conversation. Especially if we live in cities, man. Light pollution, man. Man. Yeah, it's crazy.
afternoon, that you literally watch your sweat come off your forehead. You hold your hand in the sunlight and watch it go into the air and join the mist from the jungle.
Wow.
And then at 4 p.m. you get that thunderstorm and it comes back. And that cycle is moving through you.
Wow.
And it's like you are so connected to nature.
We fly through infinity on an organic spaceship every day. And that's what's really going on. It's not stationary. It's literally spiraling through the universe.
And that exact sort of wonder is what I feel when I wake up in the jungle and you dip your hands in and you drink the river. And then in the afternoon, that you literally watch your sweat come off your forehead. You hold your hand in the sunlight and watch it go into the air and join the mist from the jungle. And then at 4 p.m. you get that thunderstorm and it comes back. And that cycle is moving through you.
Wow.
And it's like you are so connected to nature there. It's so apparent. Exact sort of wonder is what I feel when I wake up in the jungle and you dip your hands in and you drink the river. And then in the afternoon, that you literally watch your sweat come off your forehead. You hold your hand in the sunlight and watch it go into the air and join the mist from the jungle. And then at 4 p.m. you get that thunderstorm and it comes back. And that cycle is moving through you.
Wow.
And it's like you are so connected to nature.
It's just like, wow, it just puts you in your place. And the sky is supposed to do that. An organic spaceship every day.
In the afternoon, that you sort of wonder is what I feel when I wake up in the jungle and you dip your hands in and you drink the river. And then in the afternoon, that you literally watch your sweat come off your forehead. You hold your hand in the sunlight and watch it go into the air and join the mist from the jungle. And then at 4 p.m. you get that thunderstorm and it comes back. And that cycle is moving through you.
Wow.
And it's like you are so connected to nature there. It's so apparent that like you can't not be in absolute awe. And like you see this, and again, we're out there, we see the stars at night like that, where it's like you can see the Milky Way. It's a belt across the sky.
These are 15 of the craziest conspiracy theories ever shared on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, beginning with episode 1954, where Joe Rogan shares his theory on the afterlife.
The theory that many people have is that death opens up a chemical gateway in the mind. And that chemical gateway takes whatever the soul is, whatever consciousness is, and transports it into this new realm. It allows you, your conscious mind, to access this new realm, which is available to you upon death. And so a lot of the ancient cultures that did ayahuasca and mushrooms, they would talk about this realm as being like a well of souls, that you encounter disembodied life forms, disembodied spirits. And this has been, it's been a staple of so many religions. There's so many religions that talk about the afterlife. I mean, I get that you would want to come up with something like that just because you wanted to have some sort of a reason to keep going with a rational mind when you're dealing with this existential angst of a temporary existence and one day you're just going to be worm food. What's the point of it all? Why don't I end it now?
Yeah.
It's too much. Life is to live is to suffer. No, there's something waiting for you when it's over.
On episode 1117, Joe Rogan is absolutely shocked by this crazy Hitler theory.
Because a lot of people are like, finding Hitler, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They found Hitler, he died.
Yeah, I mean,
Not really?
we don't know.
Right.
That's I mean, this isn't like Ancient Aliens. This is they declassified a bunch of documents. They both the Israelis, the British, and the Germans and Americans in the past 20 years have been consistently declassifying documents, and there were a bunch of specifically FBI documents that we were spending millions and millions of dollars actively searching for Hitler after the war, as was yeah, like millions of dollars. Like Hoover was like, no, send more FBI agents to South America, to North Africa, go to the Canary Islands, go to Spain, trying to find out where this guy went. The Russians got the body, and they got his skull. And when they brought it back to Moscow, nobody has ever been able to independently verify who and what this body is. They let one genetic test occur, and the body with the bullet holes that they said was Hitler, and have said, and that's the narrative, that's the story, that's all the eyewitness accounts that are even in the vicinity of collaborating with each other, and corroborating each other's testimony. Like the closest version, because none of it seems to be very accurate, is that, okay, here's Hitler's skull.
People ask me all the time, Chris.
I watched your live from last night. I was watching it last night. I fell asleep, and I finished watching it this morning. Boy, your ass going in on what you call him, zesty hair. That shit was fucking comedy, bro.
Yeah. Hey, no, cause look though, bro, it's like this, bro, on some real shit. Don't nobody know, bro. Like in a joint, when you about to fight motherfuckers, like really fight a motherfucker, bro, cause he's saying playing with your homie. You hear me?
Yeah.
Say like somebody said something about you, bro, in jail. And I'm like, hey, bro, stop spreading rumors about my homie, bro. That's my little homie. He ain't gay. And then you find out videos and shit. You hear me? Like hell no, bro. Like, this my boy, bro. Like, at least tell me. Don't get on the phone with me and tell me on duck they line. You know, like don't you can't do that.
Right. Man, that shit crazy as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker was like, he like.
What do aliens think about us?
You're 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, look at that thing. Yeah. If you'd be like, they're coming. Oh my God, they're coming. But if, oh my God, they're coming. But if you can imagine.
There you go.
Like, look at that thing. Yeah. If you'd be like, they're coming. Oh my God, they're coming. But if you can imagine that was 40 or 50 years ago, 40 or 50 years of advancement, like who knows what they're doing now.
Yep, exactly.
And if I was going to cover it up, I would just start talking about aliens. You know, it's the best way to do it. Don't you think?
It's a crowd pleaser.
Do you have an opinion on that, or is this something that you find ridiculous until there's like real data?
I like living in a world where there are unknowns. I like there being some mystery. So I like
how far do you go? You go Bigfoot?
I don't know. I just I'm not even saying I need to have a point of view on them. It's more just by the way, there is a UFO right behind you.
Yeah.
You probably know all about that.
I'm obsessed with UFOs.
Lifting somebody right up into the air.
Look, there's one on the desk. That's the model of the Bob Lazar craft that he worked on supposedly at Area 51.
There we go. Looks familiar. Look, I want there to be mystery, right? I want there to be unknowns. Like living in a world where everything is settled, quote unquote settled. No. Let's have some mystery. I don't even know if I really want to know.
Really?
It's like I don't know.
Oh, I think if you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the mystery. I think knowing that aliens do exist is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, okay, did they engineer us?
Uh-huh.
You know, when did they start visiting?
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, are the stories from the Bhagavad Gita, is that about UFOs?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know?
Have they been here the whole time?
Yeah. Have they been here the whole time? Did they come every now and then and make sure we don't blow ourselves up? Like, what's the purpose?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in favor of that.
Come on, man.
Right,
you want to know?
Okay, all right, I'm in.
If anybody's going to know, you're going to know. So I'm going to call you.
So Elon
Joe
says
Rogan sounds sick as hell.
Yeah, I'm super suspicious when he says that. Super
suspicious that they haven't told him, or that he's maybe playing a little hide the ball.
If I was him, I'd play hide the ball. Yep. If I'm running SpaceX, I'm working with NASA, and I already got in trouble smoking weed on a Joe Rogan Experience. I would fucking play ball.
You got the one strike.
Let's play ball. Aliens, I have no evidence.
No idea.
They sure are subtle.
Yep.
That's what he says. They sure are subtle. It depends on who you are. If you're one of those people that's seen those things, if you're like Commander David Fravor.
Whether you're curling or crunching, running or riding, lift.
I don't think I die.
It's great.
I think I just keep going.
Yeah.
And they go, well, Bert, what do you think when all these people are dying? He goes, not me.
It's never been me yet.
Bert, what do you think when all these people are dying? He goes, not me.
It's never been me yet. I've been at funerals going, that's not me up there.
That's true, but that's a very limited way of. That's how a German Shepherd would look at death.
Marshall seems pretty fucking happy.
He's pretty happy.
Marshall seems pretty fucking happy. Do you think Marshall thinks about death? Or do
He
you think...
definitely does not think about death, but delivering death to squirrels.
Yeah, I got that energy.
That sweet dog is the squirrel murderer. That's what his favorite fucking pastime is.
You think? I would love to introduce him to one of my two dogs, and see if they go, "Hey, who's your dad?" My dad does comedy too.
I don't think they do that.
Do you think they'd have? Yeah, I guess you're right.
They probably just check each other for dominance. They sniff each other's dicks, and then they spin around and growl at each other and try to figure out who's the boss.
So what's your alternative? Louis said this to me. He said it just goes black one day.
Well, he doesn't know that.
That can't be the alternative.
He doesn't know that. Not only that, there's a lot of evidence that's not the case. There's
Preach, I want to hear this.
Well, first of all, there's bizarre chemical doorways in your brain. Your brain produces psychedelic chemicals that we don't understand. And there's a study right now. One of the things that Graham Hancock was talking to me about recently was that there's a study that's going on.
Graham Hancock has a great thing on fucking Netflix.
Oh, it's amazing.
He's a guy that I heard his name a bunch because of you. Didn't know what the fuck he did.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was a thing, but I didn't know he was a thing.
I keep fucking up the name, but it's Ancient Apocalypse, right? Yeah, Ancient Apocalypse. It's very good.
It's really good.
But this is the culmination of Graham's life work. I mean, I found out about his original book, Fingerprints of the Gods, in the 90s. And I remember reading it, and people were, like, ridiculing it, saying, oh, that's preposterous, that's pseudoscience. Everything in that book has now been proven to be true. All of it. All of his hypothesis, and now it's correlated with data that shows about these asteroid impacts. And so Randall Carlson and him teaming together. So Randall's an expert on these comet impacts and the impact that it had in the Younger Dryas impact theory. And then Graham is an expert on these ancient civilizations. And so the two of them together have put together this very, very fascinating timeline of the rebirth of human civilization, which is around 11,800 years ago, that we got fucking rocked and it reset the earth. But he was talking about this, and he was talking about, on the last podcast we did, he was talking about these studies that they're doing out of a university in England, where they're doing a slow drip DMT experience with these people. And because they're doing it for hours and hours, they do a slow drip where they keep them in this state, which is normally a very transient state. Place, and they're having repeatable experiences. So instead of having like a 15-minute DMT trip, which is a lot of people have, that's like overwhelming, you can't even figure out what's going on, then it's over. Instead of that, you're going to the exact same place over and over and over again and getting more and more comfortable with it and coming back with very similar stories.
Really?
So yeah, it's a repeatable environment where they're encountering minute term, but like not a 15-minute trip. The theory that many people have is that death opens up a chemical gateway in the mind, and that chemical gateway takes whatever the soul is. The theory that many people have is that a map of the territory. So this is the concept. the theory that many people have is that death opens up a chemical gateway in the mind. And that chemical gateway takes whatever the soul is, whatever consciousness is, and transports it into this new realm. It allows you, your conscious mind, to access this new realm, which is available to you upon death. And so a lot of the ancient cultures that did ayahuasca and mushrooms, they would talk about this realm as being like a well of souls, that you encounter disembodied life forms, disembodied spirits. And this has been, it's been a state